This is a 1969 Volkswagen Beetle convertible, and it is in what I would call probably very nice driver condition. It's not necessarily a show car, but who cares? It's a Volkswagen Beetle. It's very, very clean, very, very sharp, brand new paint, beautiful paint job. It does have a couple of itty-bitty minor paint blemishes. It's got one tiny little bubble right there that's like an air bubble that sometimes happens on a paint job. And there was one other spot. Oh yeah, back here is not unusual. There's actually is a crack here, about 2 inches right here. Not necessarily unusual. I've seen that's one normal spot where you see the cracks, and then another normal spot you see sometimes in the grooves here, and there's one little crack right there. And actually, the first time I picked up this car, these were like stuff I didn't even notice. So when you first walk up to the car, you're not going to see any of that. The car has really, really beautiful paint job. It's got a very nice, clean interior. Appears to be new. Door panels, new speakers in the door, carpet kit's new. I'm sorry, unfortunately in this video I needed to vacuum, and we had just gotten done servicing the vehicle, so I didn't get a chance to vacuum. But the carpet kit is new. Seats are like new. I do not believe these are the original seats that came out of this car, but I think they're actually a little wider and more comfortable and more adjustable. So this is definitely not original. This is a really nice feature though. This is the aftermarket multi-gauge cluster. The odometer was reset when the complete restoration was done. So it's got 763 miles on the restoration of this vehicle. All of the gauges work. In fact, that's what I was just doing. I had this over at Moon Air Cooled to make sure everything was working. Lights work, all that jazz. It's got a new radio in it. It's not actually a CD player. It's one of these ones that you can plug in the multi-port. But the CD player works. It's new. Like I said, new speakers. The top looks brand new. Very nice headliner. The top, you can see, I'm not going to pull it all the way up, but you can see and you can look at the still photography that it's new and it's beautiful. So it's got actually a rare engine in it. This is a 1300 dual port Japanese Beetle engine. It's not original to the vehicle, but it's really cool, and man, it's a lot stronger and faster than I thought it would be. On the way here after getting done over at Moon Air Cooled, I looked down, I realized I was doing 70 and I'm just cruising like it's nothing. So this is a little beach cruiser. I'd run from here to in Atlanta all the way down to Florida and I wouldn't even think about it. But Clinton said over at Moon Air Cooled, Clinton's my Beetle mechanic. He went through it always goes through bumper to bumper every Volkswagen before I sell it, make sure everything's right. We had to dial in the carburetor a little bit, fix a choke, do a couple little things to it. It's running perfect. He says it's beautiful, and he says it's really cool to have this engine because it's actually kind of rare. Not rare like you can't find parts for it per se, but he did pull the numbers on it, and he said that is actually a 1300 cc dual port air-cooled Volkswagen engine, which is of course manufactured in Germany but went in the Japanese Beetles in the early 1970s. It came out of a 1971 Volkswagen. So runs perfect. These wheels are really sharp. It's got disc brakes on the front, which is a very nice feature. Brand new tires. Underneath the car looks really clean. These floor pans are really nice. Like I said, this isn't a show car. And it does look like there's one spot there that's got a little kind of a filler in it or something, but other than that, this is a rust-free car. Did have a floor pan repair done to it a while back, but everything looks really nice and clean underneath. Under the hood, or however you want to call it, bonnet, very clean. I mean, this is a no rust car. Nice little, new carpet in here, spare tire. Somebody put an extra jack and one of these collapsible wrenches in here, which is nice to have. One of the things it still needs is the lock. So the locking mechanism it does not have, but it still does have the latch, so it's not coming up while you're driving it. I've actually, when I get back, I've got my dealer tag off of it for photography and video right now, but as soon as I get back to my shop, I'll have a dealer tag on this car. I'm gonna drive it until somebody comes and buys it. It's super fun to drive. The heater's on, it works. I do believe that the heater switch itself is either on or off, and kind of manually adjust it from up underneath. So that would be one other thing you might want to fix if you were going to buy it. So those are the only two things that I can think of that are wrong with it. I am in the car by myself, so give me just a second here and I'll fasten my seatbelt and we'll take this thing for a drive. Hello, I'm Dr. I'm going to turn that off. So yeah, it's got auxiliary on the CD player and everything. Like I said, all the lights work. So I'm going to do my best to drive the car while holding a camera. All the suspension parts are new. I mean, this car is really sharp. I love the fact actually that it has the disc brakes. Like I said, keep in mind I'm driving a 4-speed while I'm holding a camera, so sorry for any little typical Volkswagen shake at about 50 miles an hour. Very, very minor. Like I said earlier in the video, I mean, in fact, I'm trying to obey the speed limit here, so now we're going up to 55, so it just barely has that tensor wobble, and then it immediately goes away as soon as I accelerate just a hair more. This car drives super smooth. Steers very easily. The alignment on it's great. And this car is really ready to run and drive. Really pretty much needs nothing but a new owner. So there you have it. I'm trying to show that, you know, I'm cruising right now 65 miles an hour. And I don't have an odometer. That's the only thing I don't have. Oil pressure is good. Fuel gauge works good. So there you have it. This is going to be a super fun car for somebody to have.